Hello, students. Michael Sanchez, violin fiddle teacher here, author of Fiddle for Dummies. I am here with 11 awesome students that are interested in learning and improving on the fiddle. And we also have a teacher with us today, along with myself, that are going to give tips and help students improve. So we actually just sort of we're hanging out, talking, chatting, and getting to know each other a little bit. And it turns out 4 students are willing to play today, and I'm going to give them technical advice. So yeah, I really, especially lately, I've just been noticing so much with so many students out there just not having proper technical foundation and advice based on their specific playing. You know, I think a lot of people watch a lot of videos and get advice in little pieces here and there, but they're not necessarily getting an evaluation based on how they're playing. And I find that when I am able to do that with students, it really increases their ability to improve. They get on the right track. They know what drills to perform. They know what things to practice. So my goal today is just to hear these students play, and I encourage any of you out there that are watching on YouTube, the recordings, to come on these webinar classes and to play for me so I can give you good tips. And what you'll find is I'll always be friendly. I'll always be constructive. I'll never judge you. It's all for help. It's all to help you improve. So, so yeah, if you're interested in those classes, I just want to tell you at the beginning, I normally say at the end how to get on these classes, but basically you go to my website at violinshack.com, classes tab at the top. You can sign up right there, and I have 4 different classes on Tuesday nights that are all free. So hope to see you in the classes. All right, so let's introduce the other teacher, Marianne Fricko from, tell us, Marianne, and more about yourself.
Nashville, Tennessee is where I'm living right now. I just moved here from up north, and at the moment I'm playing some old-time fiddle, although I really like Irish style, so I like to play in a number of different styles. I also play other instruments like the Celtic harp, especially the wire-strung harp. So, and I'm playing this Friday with a group outside, which is probably going to be too hot. It's going to be 90.
Nice.
And wearing period clothing.
Excellent. And you didn't bring the harp with you today? I thought we talked about this last week. You're going to bring the harp.
Oh, this is a fiddle class. I didn't think I should.
I'm just kidding, but honestly, that would be awesome if you did at some point.
I have a little one that's just, well, not very big. Travel harp.
There you go. Well, that would be cool to see that at any time.
Okay.
So thanks for coming on. I'll definitely include you, Marianne, in the technique discussions. So I encourage anybody that comes on today to play fiddle tunes, as that's the class that we're doing today is Fiddle on Fiddle. But yeah, I think so many fiddlers out there just don't get good technical advice. So we're gonna get anybody back on the track that is interested today. So I think what we're gonna start with is Sally Jordan. Sally, how you doing today?
Good.
Good. Tell us about yourself and how long you've been playing for, and where you're.
Oh, I don't know if I want to say.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe.
No, I've been playing a long time, but not regularly until the last couple of years.
Got it. Okay. Cool. So you're more interested in learning the fiddle. So tell us about that.
Well, I've kind of been doing fiddling for quite a while. I started in a group in the early 90s, but I didn't always play the fiddle. I played mandolin and backup and sang in that. And so somebody convinced me I should play the violin because I played the mandolin, and so I should be fiddling. So I decided to pick it up and start playing. I don't read music. I play by ear. And so I just... I think the thing that I have the worst problem with, or the most problem with, not the worst, but the most, is my tempo, because I like to take it away and I get going and I get going too fast. And so then my tempo is off a little bit. But, with old-time fiddling groups, you play waltzes and two-steps and hoedowns and everything's a different degree of tempo. And so then during the contest, that's what they do, is 3 tunes and they're all in different tempo and you have to change and do it accurately and all that. So, but I think that's been my biggest factor, is not being able to do the tempo probably the way that I should, like a 2-step compared to a jig or a rag, or, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. So I usually just play it the way that I feel comfortable and the way I think it should sound.
Got it. Cool. I like your instrument there. It's got some nice decorations. Very cool.
Oh yeah, I kind of decorate a little. I'm kind of a glitter girl, so.
I see that. Very cool. Awesome. Well, if you could back up a little bit, Sally, and maybe put your webcam down just a tad, and then I can see kind of your overall technique. And
Let's see if I can adjust this. That could be scary. Technique? Oh my. That's still not low enough, is it?
could be a little lower.
Maybe I need to move you to a different table.
Okay. Yeah. So Sally, that's fine. Regarding technique, what would you say are your biggest things that you're working on or are you struggling with technique-wise?
Well, I think I mentioned to you that I'm doing is it the double stops? Is that where you play two strings?
Yeah.
One's down, one's open.
Yeah, the drones.
Drones. Okay, drones. Thanks. I sometimes get those a little messy, and I even though my fingers are down where I think that they should be, I'm not sure it's actually the fingering or the bowing that I'm having trouble with. I think with my bow, of course, I'm using the fiber one today, but
You're using the awesomest looking bow I've ever seen.
Hey, it's a duck color. It's green. Go Ducks. My Oregon Ducks. So, but I think that may be what my thing is that I sometimes press too hard on the bow, and I think that's why I'm not getting a real clear drone when I do it.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. If you want to pick something that's got some of that in it, then I can.
Okay, how about something like Arkansas Traveler, maybe a little?
Sure.
Well, I'm not real great, but if I can remember how it goes.
Hey, awesome. We always clap for everybody and definitely the first person. Very good.
Sorry, that was probably wasn't the best. I haven't played this morning yet.
I thought it was very entertaining. Just your instrument, your bow color, your story. I mean, everything.
Great, thanks.
Everything was great. I loved it.
Great.
So yeah, I'll give you a couple tips.
Okay.
Really, you're doing really well in a lot of areas. Your left hand setup is good. Your angles are good. You know, things that we've talked about. You're opening up the hand a little bit, you know, to kind of play on the E string. So you could technically play even a little faster with having kind of a more efficient hand. So like basically your fingers squeezing back instead of opening up.
Okay.
So that would be one thing I would say. Yep.
All right. Yeah, because okay. So up a little higher on the. Can you see me?
Yeah, I can see. I was able to see
up
the
further
left
this way is what you're saying. And
yeah.
better than.
When you're on the E string, especially, so you're opening up instead of dipping.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I'll give that a shot.
Yeah. So that's what I would say about the left hand. Intonation was great. I like that. That was good. As far as your droning and like your right hand, I think that's where I could really help you. I think you have to have a higher elbow on the D string and then A string just below the instrument, E string at your side. If you are changing strings and going fast, it can be changed a little bit from the wrist, but I think you would have a lot better bow playing if you were to change strings more from your elbow.
Okay. Yeah, I've always wondered. I didn't want to look like a chicken, you know, so I've been trying not to flap my arm too much.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that actually would help a lot. That would help a lot with droning because it's going to help you get more accurate your bow playing. Because with drones, you have to be right on with being right in between both strings evenly.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, that would actually do a lot if you're moving more from the elbow.
Okay.
So I would recommend that.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I would say as far as the style goes, I would try to kind of do more of a traditional bluegrass bowing, I would say.
Okay.
It seems like you're kind of putting slurs in a little bit too random in some spots. With the bluegrass bowing, I like doing like two slur, two separate. That's good. And then I wasn't always sure what you were doing with the droning, if you were trying to do more drones or maybe you were just missing the string. But yeah, kind of more defined drones in there.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that.
Great.
But yeah, really great intonation, good finger angles. A lot of students could learn from that. And then yeah, you're playing at a good speed. You're playing fast. I can tell you've probably played with a lot of groups and stuff like that.
I have, yeah. Mostly on the front porch for the neighbors walking their dog. I did. Try to keep them going, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more tip I'll give you: if you can stay even closer to the fingerboard, you're lifting fingers slightly too much to where you could play
Okay.
a little faster if you kind of just simplify a little bit more.
Okay, I'll work on that.
So, but yeah, really
Cool.
good playing. First time I've heard you play in a long time, and you play really well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. That was fun.
So good work. Yeah. Any questions?
I don't think so. I think you've given me a lot to work on, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Email me with any additional questions or anything.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Mike.
You're very welcome. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So that was fun. That was our first student. That wasn't so bad. Thumbs up, crowd, if it wasn't so bad. You know, we're nice around
Yeah,
here.
please.
We're friendly around here. All right. So let's call on our next student, Val from Michigan. How you doing, Val?
Doing fine.
Good. You were telling us earlier that you were kind of having a down week, but you were also saying you're
Yeah.
doing some fun stuff. You're playing some fiddle tunes.
Yes. But again, it's very basic fiddle. And Maria, I don't play as well as the gal before me. I'm just a beginner. So this one's for you.
That's okay. And last week you said something similar, and I was like, "Hey, you played much better than I thought." So I think you're just not giving yourself.
Yeah, but you had me play the Irish tunes.
Oh, you know, I think you'll be just fine, and I'm looking forward to helping you out, giving you some good tips. Let's see how you do.
Okay. Here goes.
Here goes.
Whoops.
Hey, good job. Very nice. Cool. Yeah, good job, Val. Seems like, you know, last week you did good. This week you did good. Yeah, I really like your clear tone. Like you have a nice projection to your sound. It sounds really good. Yeah, you're doing a lot of things good there.
Thank
You're
you.
using good index pressure, using a good amount of bow. That's really great. So you're getting some good instruction. It's awesome. There's always something to improve on, obviously. A couple things I would mention. Your first fingers are well in tune. That was great. Your second finger, the C sharp in particular, could have been just a little higher. So just kind of watch that a little bit, just a little farther.
Okay.
So you're just a little bit low with that too. So just a little higher C sharp. I need to tune my E string. So yeah, the intonation on that I would recommend. Also, Val, one thing I noticed, your wrist could be a little bit more straighter. This doesn't apply as much to fiddle as far as the wrist needing to be straight as with violin we shift, and it's really important to have it straight. But it does imply a lot of times if you have your wrist in like this, it implies that maybe you're holding it too much with the left hand. So definitely make sure you're
Okay.
securing the instrument with your chin and shoulder only. and not with your left hand. You might maybe be doing it 50% here and 50% here or something like that. So that always gives me a signal that maybe that's happening. So just make sure you watch that. One thing you can test that with, you can have somebody try to take the instrument away from you. Maybe your husband or something, randomly comes by and tries to grab the violin. If you can do that easily, then you have to have more hold on it here. So yeah, I would just watch for that. But other than that, really good job. I like the fiddle tune. I like the tone. I like the intonation for the most part. So nice work. Any questions?
Nope. Just practice, practice, practice up for me.
It didn't sound like you had a bad week. It sounded fine. Yeah, and now you have more experience under your belt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that too. I'll get over my shyness soon.
You can always come to this side of the state and come visit, and I can give you another lesson too. You're the closest out of everybody. Cool. I'm sure you're enjoying the nice weather we're having up here. It's been beautiful. So,
Oh yes, I've been out in the garden all day.
I bet.
That's the big problem. It is the garden taking time away from playing violin. But hey, just got to fit it in.
Yeah, it's one of those things. A tip, it's like you're not always going to practice as much as that you want to practice or that you think you should practice even, but just stick with it. The biggest thing is getting through the rough weeks or the less practice weeks. Don't let that get you down. Everybody goes through those. So this was a good excuse week with the nice weather. So,
yes. And Maria, are you still smiling?
You did a good job.
I think hey Val, I think you have a fan.
Well, thank you. Don't be afraid to try this.
Just wanted to kind of see what it was like.
Fellow beginner.
Ma'am? What did you say?
Nothing for me.
She said fellow beginner, so she's saying you're also a beginner. You guys are both beginners, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, so Val, you have a fan, it looks like. That's great. Awesome. So yeah, keep up the good work, Val. Thanks for playing. Appreciate that. Maybe that'll be an encourager for others out there. I even see Randy with his instruments. What's going on here? Is this a sign? Is he actually going to be able to play? No? Randy?
Oh, I can play, but I'm just out here just enjoying the sunshine now.
Okay. Well, raise your hand if you want to play for us. I just figured maybe you did because you had your instrument in hand.
Always have it with me.
Got it. Cool. All right, Marianne, did you want to give any tips based on, Val's playing so far and Sally's playing as well?
I thought they both did a great job. So, yeah, I think it was a little hard to see what you were doing, Val, because your internet is not as smooth or something. So I was having a little bit of trouble seeing what you were doing. So you both did great.
Yeah, Val, you were a little choppy today. I noticed that as well. But yeah, not sure.
The internet, not the playing. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Right.
not. I don't think you play like this.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody is that way, though, in tonight's program.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I noticed that too, Val. But I think last week was fine. So maybe just a bad internet day. All right. Let's go on to the next student. Anthony, how you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing good.
Good. Tell us about yourself.
I live in New York. I'm 12 years old. I've been playing it for around 2 months now.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So you like doing the fiddle and as well as the violin?
I do.
That's really cool. So you were telling me that you were going to maybe play like an Irish tune or something like that, right?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, let's hear it. I like your fingerboard. That's cool.
Thanks.
Hey, all right. Good playing. Good job.
Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome work. Very good. Yeah, so Anthony, I mean, for 2 months, like we mentioned last week, very, very good for the amount of time I'm playing. So congratulations on that. There's always stuff to improve on. I'll give you some tips. So yeah, I think your hand could be quite a bit higher, Anthony. You're a little bit low right now, like here, instead of being up higher. So that's going to really help your speed for sure if you get your knuckles up higher. So make the adjustment from being about here to being higher with your hand. So more like that. And then, yeah, I noticed also that you're picking up fingers quite a bit off the fingerboard. So like after a note, you're picking fingers up quite high. And that also is going to be harder to play fast. So yeah, I mean, the way that you're progressing, doing so well, you're going to want to be able to play as accurately and as efficiently as you can. So I would just work on scales and work on keeping fingers closer and keeping your knuckles up higher. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Yeah. The piece you're playing, I like that piece, by the way. Towards the end, when you have that second finger on both strings, on both the A and the E strings,
Yeah.
you were opening up your hand quite a bit for that. So I would watch that, and then also the bowings. I would try to do a different bowing pattern, maybe like. So right here, watch this. So don't open the hand way open for that. So yeah, I would try to do maybe a bowing pattern like one slur, so like one slur, three, or one separate note, three slurs. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Try that. Yeah, that'd be cool. Awesome. Any questions? Doing great. Very good playing.
No, I think I'm good.
Cool. Marianne, any comments?
I think it sounded impressive. What you might want to do is work a little bit on your second finger. See if you can push it. That's a common mistake. See if you can push it a little higher. It seemed a little on the flat side.
Okay.
I think on all the strings, and that's a common I think issue for beginners.
All right. Thank you.
Because we think that our fingers should all be about the same width apart, and that's not necessarily true. If you have a sharp, then that finger should go up higher. So there should be more of a separation then.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, Anthony. I like your song selection, and yeah, I think really work on that left hand. Are you doing scales right now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, really emphasize scales. Sometimes it's more fun to play a lot of different tunes and stuff, which is great. But if you could really master that left hand, you're going to really, really fly with violins. Or fiddle. So I would try to, get your hand higher and be more efficient.
Okay.
Great, thanks for playing. Awesome. All right, we're doing awesome so far. We have one more person I think that's willing to play for us, Mr. Ed. He's already playing. How you doing, Ed?
I don't know. I'm amazed at what Anthony can do after 2 months. I've been playing for 2 years, and I still can't play like he's playing. So. Oh,
well, we're working on it, and we're gonna get there. Yeah, I've thought you made some great progress these last 2 weeks and month for sure. Yeah, with your tone. Yeah. So, what are you gonna play for us today?
Well, I'll try the same tune we were playing the other day. Near My God to Thee.
Sounds good.
Okay.
up the tone. Really nice tone.
Thank you.
Yeah, I tell you, Ed, when you slow it down like that, it's so nice. Yeah, so I mean, I remember, Ed, when you first came to me for advice. I mean, you were lifting the bow, you were really tense, you were using the arm, you were doing all these things, but now you're using the small muscles, you're extending properly, your rhythms are better.
That's that finger, yeah, little finger, yeah. That first finger is important, yeah. That I found.
So, tell us about that, about the index practice.
Oh, the index is the one that gives your bow, allows you to put the right weight on. Before it was sliding all over the place, and wasn't sounding right. But with the index finger, it gives me the right weight in the right direction. Actually, that's the most important finger right there, is that right finger.
Yeah. So you've been working on the drills I've been giving you to do, and it's working pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the other one.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, you're good. You really are, Ed. You're making some great progress. Yeah, let's just because I tell you, this drill just helps students so much, and I know a lot of you guys already know the drill, but let's just do it right now together. There might be some other people out there that have never done it. It just helps so much. So let's do the index drill together. So let's grab our instruments. I'll explain it, and then you guys can do it here during this session. So basically what the point is we're trying to get you guys to use more of the index finger to guide the bow, like Ed was saying, to put pressure down, but also to guide it, to pull it, and to push it properly. If you don't use the index, you're using something else, and something else is going to be causing tension. So something has to power the bow back and forth, and if it's not your index, it's going to be your arm, it's going to be your thumb, it's going to be your pinky. Something's going to push up against the bow unnecessarily, and it's going to cause bad sound. So this drill helps to avoid using other things to guide and pressure and power the bow. So what you do is you're going to put your bow on the strings. What I want you guys to make sure of is that you have your index this far over the stick. So you don't have it here where it's kind of, you're promoting tension against the bow this way a little bit. If you're more here, be more over the top, this far over, okay? And then just let your fingers fall down, have a good bow hold. And then the key to this drill is to not, I repeat, not use the thumb or the pinky at all. So if you're using these fingers to help you, it's going to sound better, but unfortunately, it's not going to help you at all. Okay. So very important to not use these two fingers, otherwise it sort of obsoletes the purpose. So these two fingers are very curved, they are not going to be used, okay? So let's set the bow on the strings, and then use the index to just kind of bump the bow back and forth, just like this. It's not going to make a good sound. If you're going too far, if you're going about this far, most likely you're not doing it properly. Most likely you're using the thumb or the pinky to kind of help you. And then the other part of this drill is it's really effective to do it up against a wall or a door frame. You don't have to do that right now, those students that are here. But that restricts the forearm from moving. So that is the best way to do this drill. But for now I'm just going to pretend like I have it against something. But you'll notice that I'm not moving the forearm at all. I'm just moving the index. Like that. So no pinky being used, no thumb being used. Don't worry about how far you go. It's not about that. It's about using it. Honestly, if you only are going so far, it's actually better in a way because that shows that you have tension and you're not relying on the index. And this is a drill to help establish that. And then the other things you guys can do, like what Ed was doing, is the rocking bow drill. So this particular drill tests out the tension in your bow hand. So if you guys set your bow at the tip, take your elbow and start it off above the instrument, and then drop your arm down, bring it back up, and don't have any restriction with your arm. Just let your arm relax. Use your index to kind of keep the bow on the strings, and try not to make a sound against the strings. Just try to keep it as quiet as possible. So if you're getting this, that means that you're tense. That means that there's something pushing up against the bow. And that's what's giving you not an ideal sound when you're playing the violin. So if you get a quiet sound similar to this, obviously it doesn't have to be perfect, but just a quieter sound, then that's what you want. So I recommend doing the rocking bow drill maybe for a minute, then doing the index drill for a few minutes, maybe do the rocking bow drill for another few minutes, and then do scales. That's a really good way to practice. And then get into your books, like your etudes, your exercises, your third position books. For fiddlers, your fiddle, easier fiddle tunes where you can maybe think about some technique. Then in the third sort of practice third of your sessions, think less about technique, more about playing. A lot of fiddlers don't have trouble with that third. More jamming, hanging out, playing, playing tunes that they enjoy. But yeah, I think a lot of fiddlers are not implementing the first third that I just talked about as much, which is going to really help them establish a better sound. So yeah, I hope that helps. Anybody want to comment on the drills and kind of tell me how you're doing with them or anything else? Or any questions? First, raise your hands. Marianne, any comments about any of that? Drills, tips you want to give, anything?
They sound good to me. Yeah, I actually wasn't very familiar with them, so that's what I'm trying to learn.
Okay, yeah, I would say those two drills. I would say those two drills are my most effective drills for students. All the time, students that do those two drills consistently every day for like 3 or 4 weeks, everyone comes back saying great things about it, like that they really saw a big, significant improvement. I mean, Ed just started doing it, Ed, a few days ago? And you're seeing already improvements, right? Would you say, Ed?
Yes, about a week ago. Another thing I can remember from a video I saw one time, somebody described the right hand and the left hand. He said that the left hand, when you're playing a violin, the left hand's the technician and the right hand is the artist. That's where you use all the, you can put all the artistic effects into playing your violin, whereas the left hand is your technician. You have to be absolutely precise.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it really is significant. Yeah, I mean, I've had so many private students over the years, and I always get them on those drills. And yeah, I mean, it really applies to either if you're a violin player or a fiddle player, because I think all fiddle players want to sound good. They want to have a good tone. And I think a lot of them just aren't doing some of those things. So, so yeah, I would highly recommend every day for a few minutes, just trying that out, and make sure that you're doing them properly, though. Because like I said, if you're using the thumb and the pinky for the drill, it's sort of counterintuitive. You're not going to, because you can be using the index, but if you're also using the thumb and the pinky, then you're getting tension against the bow still. So cool. All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. Well, I just want to encourage you guys to visit my website, violincheck.com. Sign up for the free classes I have. I also have a link for my YouTube channel on there. I post all these recordings on YouTube, so if you miss a class, you can always watch the recordings. I also have my Violin Check membership available. Ed is a member of the membership, and basically what I do for that is I offer 2 additional webinar classes a week with students and a private lesson. So right now we have about 15 members, and all of them are just raving about their progress in just 1 month. We've only had the membership for about a month, and they're really, really happy with how they're doing. So yeah, and I have about 5 or 6 classes of students, 3 or 4 students, and they're all just getting to know each other, and it's really a great thing where they're getting really motivated to practice. And yeah, some of my groups are just like ecstatic about it, just so excited about learning and improving. And a lot of them just have that, that technical sense of wanting to improve their technique, because that's such a huge part of playing the violin and the fiddle. So yeah, I encourage you guys to check out the website. If you want to try out the membership, but you don't want to, pay right away, you just kind of want to try it out. I do offer a free trial if you email me through the website. So if you're interested in that, just send me a contact us message. I can put you in a class for a week and see if you like it. So So great. Thanks so much, guys, for coming. If you have any other questions, just feel free to message me. It's been great. Loved having all you guys here. And yeah, it seems to be you guys are regulars coming every week. I love it. And let's give everybody a hand that played today. Awesome. Thank you, guys. And let's also give Marianne a hand for participating as a teacher. Always appreciate Marianne's tips and contributions. Marianne, anything you want to say?
Actually, the old time group that I play with, I notice a lot of them have some technique issues. Like, for example, their hand is like this, wrong direction, on the on the fiddle, or their bow hand is like this, or they go up on the bow, and they can't play as fast. So I do think technique is important for fiddling, for that reason.
Yeah.
They have issues playing, or their whole arm moves when they play. You can see them going like this when they play.
Yeah.
You know, and you can see they can't play very fast. So
yeah,
we have all levels in there.
Yeah. And when you say, Marianne, that a lot of them just maybe don't know the importance of it, or maybe they just think like just the more they play or the longer they practice, maybe the better they get, and not so much about like just that they need to improve their technique, you think?
Yeah. I think they're mostly self-taught, and a lot of fiddlers are, and that's fine. But it does help at least to have someone look at it once or twice, at least.
Yeah, and I think also like explaining it, just like okay, not just saying change this, but explaining like this is why you should change this, because yeah, I mean like this obviously it promotes a lot of bad habits and hurts the speed, and when students lift their fingers way up in the air, they have to go that much farther to play faster, and yeah,
you also get carpal tunnel by doing this with the left hand.
you look like a waiter.
Yeah, that'll damage your wrist. You can have, and anybody who works on the computer, like I work on the computer all day, knows all about that.
Yep, exactly. So yeah, it's hopefully we get the word out there for more fiddlers to at least come on these and get on and play for me once, or just keep watching these, because I think really it could be beneficial for them. So cool. So yeah, let's also give a hand to all the newbies here. Maria, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. Hope you come back again. Hope you had fun and learned something. Sally, you've come a few times. Most everybody else has come at least once, but yeah, thanks so much for everybody coming, and hope to see you guys next week. See you guys. Thanks so much. Email me with any questions. Bye. Thanks, Maria.